Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Spears and Steinberg podcast. Right here with Spears.
How y'all feel out there?
Steinberg. What time is it? Game time. Hey there, boys and girls. It's your good friend Bert Bridgewater, a real man. I know last week's episode was really heavy dealing with the conversation regarding the LGBTQ AARP RESPECT. Find out what it means to me. So I thought it'd be time to lighten the load and explain again what a real man is, as though some of you may have been confused by last week's was once a woman but now is a pronoun man. A real man is a man who walks into the bathroom and sits down on the can to drop a deuce. And when he begins to push out, he literally wipes his ass and takes a dump at the exact same time. Smearing his gooch and his nuts with fecal matter and leaves it there so that when he walks into a crowded room and everyone makes that stank face going, what the fuck is that smell? He turns to them and he looks at them all in the eye and says, yep, that's doo-doo, baby. And I don't give a shit. That's what a real man does. A real man goes to a carnival and sets up his own booth. But instead of traditional bobbing for apples, he takes a steel pot, fills it with hot oil and drumsticks, and brings it to a boil. Then he has a line full of people, mostly black folks, one after the other, taking turns bobbing for fried chicken. That's what a real man does. And speaking of real men, here are two real men that you guys already know. A fucking Jew and a jerk. Andy Steinberg and Aries Spears. Take it over, fellas.
I really don't know what to say to Bert.
Don't say a goddamn thing. Just stew in your own
Fecal matter.
And till it don't stink no more.
When's the last time you shit your pants?
Yesterday.
No, actually, your pants.
Yesterday. Because I'm a real man. So we're here in Boston, not Boston, but
Rhode Island.
Providence, Rhode Island, kid, near Boston. We got two things. And listen, the whole reason why I did Bert right there is because what we're really going to talk about today, the meat of it, is Andy and I's top 10 man movies. So that's the reason for Bert. But there are two things we have to address up top. One being here in Providence, and two, as I was perusing through my Instagram this morning. Perusing. A couple people sent me that Afion Crockett thing.
Me too.
So which do you want to get into first?
Let's do Atheon first, because that's
right, this is the appetizer before we give you guys the main meal.
Yeah.
We got two appetizers.
And Atheon's fresh picked. That's the freshest thing.
That's
on the
coming
menu.
right off the griddle with steam on that motherfucker.
Yeah.
What'd you think? You said you had a couple of three bones to pick.
I had a problem with the woman. I had a problem with the club, and I have a little bit of a problem with Atheon.
I'm most surprised by you saying you have a problem with Atheon. So let's start there.
Start there. And this, maybe I have a problem with you.
Me?
Yeah.
How the fuck did I get into this?
I'll tell you. In my wildest imagination, after being on the road with you these many years, I could never imagine you giving that much space to someone to let them get onto the stage, get them to speak their mind, move over, let some other chick on stage.
Who I thought was the manager.
I thought it was the manager. I don't know either.
Okay.
But not having it handled. That wouldn't happen with you.
Oh. So is this problem with me a good thing or a bad thing?
It's a good. The problem I have with Atheon is because of you. That's what I'm saying. Maybe you're part of that problem.
Oh, okay.
Because what I'm saying is that doesn't happen.
I have to do this tombstone moment. Let me, as Val Kilmer, Doc Holliday, because I thought we were having a beef, me and you, by that. So let me put my guns down. There. Now we can be friends again. Go ahead.
No, but that's what I mean. I couldn't, when I saw that, and that's why I made him third in that list of the people I had problems with. Not that, I don't know what I would do in that situation, but being around you this amount of time,
right?
I don't believe that I could have let that gone down that same way either.
Right.
I'd rather tell him to turn on the lights and end the show than have her take over that stage.
Now that I see where you're coming from, but again, like you just said, I don't know how much of that you put on Afion. Because here's what I have a problem with, and you said the club.
Yeah, the club.
I do too.
Yeah.
Because the moment I saw that club and that backdrop, I said, oh, that's Comedy Zone in Jacksonville. It's not the tightest run ship.
No.
So in theory, management should have never let it get that far. That woman should not have been able. Anybody can from where the way that club is laid out.
Yeah.
You can walk on the stage. It's right there, especially off to the side, the right side. But to walk on the stage and then stay that long,
right?
That's where I go. Now the club now, y'all was supposed to jump on that immediately. I don't know if you remember that moment when Trump was on the campaign and he was at the podium and that dude tried to rush from the back and you saw how quickly he turned around. Yeah. But even quicker, Secret Service nipped that in the bud.
Right.
That woman should not have been on that stage for that long.
And that being said, that's the person, like, obviously I can't fault them. I have to fault the person who did it the most, but I equally fault the club because from my experience, and I wasn't there, so I can't judge on what happened before the video started.
Right.
But usually there's some indication that there's an issue before someone
some hoorah-brah.
Yeah, before someone hits the stage. So they should have been well aware of that there's an issue. Mm-hmm. And the second someone goes to put a foot on the stage, they should have had someone coming out to the stage.
And if I recall correctly, I know Fred Posen is the owner manager. He's never there on show nights. So it's usually a female. I can't remember her name, but a brunette. She's usually like the manager and she happens to work behind the bar. How that got that far without her intervening or somebody intervening is crazy to me. Because here's where I worry about it. Like, come on, man. The woman really wasn't going to do shit but blah, blah, blah. What if it was a dude?
That's what I was going to say next. Yeah, because not only was it her on the stage that long, if someone would have came and someone didn't like something he said, some drunk person came on the stage and attacked him, and no one's coming over to do anything for that amount of time, that's a serious problem. And the other part that I was going to say is he had every right, Atheon had every right to defend himself at that. Like, he could have just knocked her out from coming on the stage.
And he could have because he knows karate. He's a martial artist.
Well, I'm just saying, I'm not saying he had every right to, because you don't know what the person's going to do once they get on stage.
Right.
And I mean, she didn't look opposing
at all.
So I get that he didn't do that, but I mean, he had every right. When someone rushes the stage and comes up to the stage, you have every right to defend it. You don't know what someone's going to do.
Right.
And I also had a little problem with the crowd too.
Uh-oh.
And I've noticed this lately, and I noticed this in some of the shows you've had. I'll change it after this one. When someone is acting foolish in the crowd these days, you used to have the whole crowd get on your side and let that other person know that you weren't having no one else was having the issue. It was that person's problem.
Right.
I've noticed lately that the crowd isn't getting fired up the same way they used to.
But I think towards the end of the video, they started to kind of...
When she was walking off the stage.
Right.
You know what? It's too late. Then he had to go to the crowd and go, does anybody else have a problem? Usually the crowd is telling him to shut the fuck up, get off. The crowd is usually one of the bouncers before even the bouncer.
Yeah. You know, I saw it and I DM'd Afion and I gave him one of my jokes in that situation for that area, and I think I told you before, I said, hey man, next time just say, hey, I'm in Florida. I'm standing my ground. It'll bring the house down. Because I've said that in that room when I had a problem with someone specifically white who was coming at me in almost the same fashion. Florida, it's known for that law, which is a real law. It's been used racially when black dudes have been fucked up by white people. So that's the flip. Yo, man, fuck you. I'm standing my ground. It brings the house down every time.
It has. I heard you do it. But the person obviously we have the most problem with, I would think that you have the most problem with the same person I have the problem with, is the chick walking up on, who do you fuck?
I love what he said, and then tell me as a white person if you have a problem with this. And maybe because in the heat of the moment, he wasn't thinking, but it felt like he generalized when he went, well, y'all white people think y'all could do anything. First you storm the Capitol, now you storm the stage, which is funny. Mm-hmm. But do you have a problem with him saying?
No, not at all.
No.
What I had a problem with him again on that is when she finally was leaving the stage, he called her Karen. Then call her Karen to her fucking face right then. Get that crowd to fucking ruin her at that moment.
Right.
He should have Karen her. That's how he should have addressed her in the first moment. And I'm not telling him how to do his job. He's a headliner. He knows what he's doing. I'm just this dude who opens up for you. But what I'm saying is, from that point, when she came on the stage, I would have been, Karen, what are you doing here?
Right.
You know what?
Right.
Put it in place at the moment.
You would have anointed her immediately.
Not moved over to the other side of the stage. And I understand what he was doing, though, too. It's a woman. She's coming up on the stage. She's obviously drunk. She's a white woman.
She might not have been drunk. Don't assume that.
She looked drunk, dude. Either
You
that
think?
or she was on some kind of drugs. Did you see her face just look, when she was like, she could have just had that face, but she just appeared to me. And the way she spoke kind of like looked, there wasn't a coherent person there behind that. She could have just been a fucked up person though, too.
Let me go back to what you just said. And you want to talk about the crowd being the bouncer. And listen, when I've worked that club, it's predominantly black folks, but there are white folks that come to the show, but predominantly black.
Yeah.
Where were the sisters? You know, black women, you know, y'all, and I know this is the stereotype. Y'all loud and, you know, finger snapping and eye rolling and neck moving. Where's the Lakeishas and the Ishas and all the Ishas when we need you? Where's the black queens that should have stood up for the black king and assumed the role of, since this is a woman and we don't want him to come off like a man abusing a woman, even though, again, like Andy said, he would have had every right to defend his territory, his dojo. It was the black women in the crowd that went, we not having this. Girl, hold my earrings. Girl, hold my weave. Where was that at?
And that's why I said a little bit with the crowd, because it was when I watched it, I said everything here went wrong, except that they finally got her off the stage.
Right.
Someone did come up and get her off the stage. Up until that point, everything that could have went. I'm going to say it because no one got hurt. Nothing,
Right.
Was, it wasn't a good situation, but it wasn't, it didn't turn into a bad situation. Let's put it that way. But nothing was leading up to making it a resolution. No one, like I said, the crowd wasn't saying anything.
And who was the broad that was up there?
I don't know, but that didn't look like a manager in her little white suit.
It just looked like an audience member.
Look, and that was someone who went up to maybe stop her from coming over to him, which was great that someone did that. But then she, the audience, I'm not blaming the audience. Let me just say this. I was just disappointed that the audience didn't use their tone and the way that the audience can react to someone who is out of bounds, the way that audiences have in the past, that they're the kind, like I said, they're the first bouncer in the room. They let that person know that they're whacked and they shouldn't be saying shit. They should shut the fuck up. And I've seen that many times in the room.
Right.
But since we've come back from COVID, and I'm blaming something on COVID, I make fun of people blaming everything on COVID, but our social, the way we act socially is a little bit different. And I didn't see that react. I thought they should have had his back.
I think there's another reason to that. And I wouldn't allude that to COVID at all, which is part of the segue into getting into being where we are. But I will say this before we make that transition. Like, I saw a clip where Godfrey was at the cellar and some woman in the back yelled out something about, I guess he was doing a joke that involved rape, and she got highly offended. And Godfrey don't play that shit. I almost got so nervous. I thought Godfrey would physically do something to this bitch, but I know he wouldn't. But Godfrey takes on he becomes a whole nother
persona
to the point where you almost go, is it still about comedy? You interrupt Godfrey's show, you in trouble. So I don't know what real point I'm making here in comparison to Afion. But maybe you're right. It felt like Afion was evading. This is a woman. I got to be careful. This is a white woman. I got to be really careful. But I felt like the comedian in me wanted to see the comedian in him. Dojo that bitch. But that's in the dojo, nigga. You the woo-wah.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying don't say calling her a Karen as she's leaving the stage. Call her the Karen as she's stepping up onto the stage.
Right.
Because as she was leaving the stage, she was no longer Karen. She was just some bitch who needed to leave the stage.
Right.
When she came up onto the stage, that was Karen.
Right.
So, but again, we all do what we do in the moment. I don't know what the moment was. I wasn't there for the beginning to the end. And, not to fucking make you any happier with your fucking self. But I learned from a teacher that has skills that makes me know that isn't the way to handle that situation.
I'm your Shidoshi, nigga. When you go to the Kumite, nigga, you're not doing this for yourself. You're doing this for your Shidoshi. You know what I mean? Now I show you trick or two. Now where we are, and to what you just said, dude, I gotta admit, I feel a little disappointed because I always felt like, and I don't want to go be an extremist because it still is to a large degree, but I always felt like when we're on the road and we've been everywhere, East Coast, West Coast, down South, Midwest, and we know the temperature of each place's waters.
Yes.
And I always felt like, when you come to New York, gritty cities, East Coast cities, New York, Boston, Philly, Baltimore, that there's a rougher edge to the audience where they can handle what a lot of the other parts of the country can't. Now, while I still feel like that is the case, I'm starting to feel like this wokeness, political correctness, sensitivity shit is starting to affect these places. Because the feeling that I got, especially, we got 2 shows left tonight, Saturday, but first show Friday, it just felt like I feel certain parts of the audience's gasps and sensitivity where this shit has even affected the gritty East Coast. And I know if this were the 80s, 90s, early 2000s, this shit would bounce off these motherfuckers like bullets to Superman. But I'm starting to feel like it's affecting them.
I think the culture, has changed. I don't think it's every single place, but I think it has changed. And I don't want to use the term because it's been made fun of, but the punching down idea. I think when you say some of the things, they interpret it as punching down. And it's this new...
Whereas once upon a time ago, they wouldn't.
No, and that's why I'm agreeing with it. It's this new sensitive culture, like as you're saying right now, that is taking it as a joke that has crushed before. I've seen in the room where they took a step back, and you will still win. You will win, but it
takes it longer for me to get the win.
Yeah, I see you. You have to. It's like in Western when they're trying to get the cattle all in the same place so that they can all go down the road together.
Right.
You're spending some time getting them all in the same mentality so that we can go down this journey, this comedy journey that you're going to send them through.
Right.
And that's kind of what I see happening more. But again, you're going to win.
Yeah. And I'm not exactly what you said. It's not that I feel like I'm losing. It's just taking me a little bit longer to get the panties down. And
you're excited because, and what you're saying is when we get to some of these cities, you're excited to be there because you don't have to do that. Yes. So you're in the mode where like, this is going to be great. I'm just going to get there. She's going to take the panties off. We're going to get to business. And now you're going in and you're going. And
this bitch got on bloomers, nigga. The panties is coming down slower because they're starting from underneath the tit cleavage down.
It's the Spanx. You're trying to get Spanx off.
What are Spanx?
Spanx are those things that the elastic things that they wear, the shapers. So basically,
adult diapers.
Well, no, but they go all the way up. It forms
it forms around the barrel, the cake.
Yeah. It changes the shape. So
now I'm getting propane pussy. We're getting propane tank pussy.
But yeah, and you see it happening more. And the first place it happened to, and I don't know that you really noticed because you happen to like the club, and the club, and the people who came out were really your crowd. Like 100% knows Ari Spears came out. But I saw it happen first in New York. I saw it happen.
At Gotham?
I saw it happen in Gotham. I seen it happen at other clubs in New York. New York was the first place. And not even with the crowd. remember some of the staff.
Yeah.
New York was the first place that I saw go, yeah, we're you know, it's when your political correctness gets in the way of your funny bone. The funny bone and comedy aren't supposed to really have anything to do with it.
Right.
The funny bone is supposed to take over, and it's a sensory where you go, that shit's fucked up, but it's funny. And I know why it's funny, and I also know why it's fucked up. But in this place, in this room, I can laugh at fucked up shit. And now we want to remove it even from the room. And that's where the problem's coming in.
Yeah, I just, like I said, I'm holding on to once upon a time ago when there was a time when you came to New York, when you came to Philly, when you came to fucking Boston, that gritty, I don't give a fuck, we do what we want attitude was there. Yeah. And it's still there, but you gotta find it a little bit now. Yeah. You gotta get through the layers of political correctness. And I've been told now this is how I'm supposed to act. So I'm acting accordingly, but this is not how I really feel. But when you push and push and push, and you push in the right way, they go, oh, okay, I can be. Yeah. I see why that's funny. Right.
For me, it's different because I've always been kind of on that outside edge anyway. And the stuff I'm really talking about now, I know they're not going to go with me at first. And I know I have to work that. So for me, it doesn't feel the same way as it feels for you.
Right.
Because I knew that I know people aren't going to go with me at first. And they don't know me, so they don't have to. But I'm used to that work. I'm used to the rounding up and trying to get them on the same wavelength that I'm on.
Right. Okay. You ready for some, we done got the appetizers out the way, the calamari, the fucking bagel bites, the chicken fingers. You ready for the main meals?
Yeah, I am. I got to look up it's funny is I got to look up the movies I sent you because this was a really hard list for me to put together.
Well, I got the movie. Oh, wait. Okay.
I know you got it, but I got it right here too.
Oh, okay.
It was a hard list for me to put together. Right. Because 10, it sounds like it should be easy.
But when you think about it, once you put it together, then when you said 20, I go, dude, I could reel off another 10.
Yeah.
But 10 makes it hard because you're leaving out
some things that you think definitely should be in there. And then there's, so I had some problems.
Real quick, I have to start on a funny light note on one of the movies you sent me. And I had to look at it 3 times and I go, did this nigga put this nigga Caligula?
Yeah.
Get the fuck out. Nigga, hold up. I went, wait a minute. Man movie. This is man pornography. That movie is soft porn. Does this really fall under the category of a man movie? We know listen, the ingredients for a man movie. Profanity, explosions, gunplay, physical fights, hacky but macho dialogue, and of course, tits and ass. So yes, it has tits and ass, but it has so much tits and ass. I'm like, and there aren't explosions. There isn't profanity. There might be. I can't.
There's profanity.
I remember the tits and ass.
I'm going to give you the explosion. I'm going to give you the substitute for the explosion.
Okay. There's no guns.
There's no guns because there wasn't guns.
Okay. There's no hacky macho dialogue.
There were swords. There was hacky dialogue, but it was done in that
that way they spoke.
Yeah.
I'm just going, and here's what's wild. This is why I say my father probably gets the award for best/worst should have been arrested dad of the year. I told you, this motherfucker, our father didn't move in with me and my mother as a family until we were in our teens, me and my sister. So for most of my childhood, my dad lived alone in New York City, and now I'm going to really date you. You probably know about this. I don't even know if they have it anymore. In New York City, they used to have the YMCA where men could go shower, change. Yeah. I think even have rooms there. I don't know if they have that now.
I'm sure. I think they have some type of something close to that, but I don't know if it's
right.
I know in Arizona there's still a YMCA that you can do that.
So my dad, between the YMCA and his apartment in New York, he lived by himself. My dad was a single dude. And I know I have my sexual appetite because of my father. I said it before. My father used to keep photo albums, and instead of family pictures, it was nudie magazine pictures that he would cut out and put in. And then he had a felony amount of porn. Again, if you walked to my dad's house and looked at the porno collection, you would have said to yourself, this cannot be legal. And my dad would watch these movies, not the porns, but close to pornographic softcore movies like Caligula. And I was a child, nigga. And while I enjoyed it because it was, ooh, I went, nigga, I'm 10. And my dad, that's how I saw Caligula. And I just, when you put that on your list, I just went, I hear where Andy's coming from, but this is porn, nigga.
But the movie was done by Bob Guccione, I think it is his name. He was the owner of Penthouse.
Right.
So he has that porn background, but he wanted to make a real movie, and he made Caligula. And this is about this actual emperor, and this is about the debauchery that took place. And I think debauchery is a little bit of the man movie part, where you like, and you've been referencing this in a joke where you say where it's and you're still. I know this is a joke that you still are working toward, but it's where it was a time when women just.
Yeah.
Couldn't say no.
Couldn't say no. Men knew they could.
Yeah. So
right.
that's this movie fits the criteria, and the explosion, dude.
The explosion is.
No, I'll tell you what the explosion is. And I know when I said it, I started laughing, and because I knew when I sent this to you, I go, if he's seen this and he knows this scene, I
haven't seen it since I was a child. But I know it. It's
the scene where he makes the dude drink all the wine, and then just cuts his stomach, and you watch all the wine.
I have to watch. Do you know how many dudes our age and older are smiling right now? Nigga, Caligula.
That I don't know. I don't know how many people knew the movie. That's one of the reasons I wanted to throw something in there that was like that. You went, what the fuck? And if anybody hasn't seen this, if anybody has seen this, you know what we're talking about. If you haven't seen this,
Caligula.
You're going to be like you're not going to be excited about the movie itself, but after you're done, you will have had an experience. It's almost like a roller coaster.
I wonder if it still holds up today.
I don't know.
Because at 10 years old, it blew my mind.
And it has real actors and actresses in it.
Right.
This is not like when you said porn,
right.
That's really the difference too. There's real, they signed up real actors that you watch in movies that you are good actors and actresses that have awards. They're in this movie.
Right.
So this was an attempt at telling the story of Caligula. So I'm not out of bounds on this one.
So of two of your movies that I specifically have notes for, Godfather 2, and I finally watched Dirty Harry. I'm gonna just throw some of mine out, or you throw some of yours out.
No, go ahead.
And we just
because I think our list was pretty close, except for some of the weird stuff.
No, here's what we had that was the same: Goodfellas, Scarface, and Die Hard, and Passenger. Oh, Die Hard.
Die Hard. I didn't have Passenger 57.
No, I didn't. I just thought you did. But Die Hard we had, Scarface we had, and Goodfellas we had.
What I couldn't believe that you didn't put in there, because we talked about it recently, was Django. How does that make your list?
That's not a man movie, though.
How is it not a man movie? It has everything that you said in it.
It's a good. I wouldn't even. And some people said Western. I wouldn't even consider. Is it a Western or a slave movie?
It's a man movie.
It's both, but a man movie. Nah, yo, it felt like a slavery or a slavery Western.
Okay.
I don't see how it's a man movie.
Dude, everything about it is a man movie. It's gunfire. It's
a lot of blood, graphic, over the top blood.
It's sexual. The sexual scenes in it.
Okay.
Listen, and here's something else too, and I don't know if everybody's going to agree with this or not, but you said it's slave, so there might have been some, there's a racial component to the movie.
Right.
But when he's hanging upside down and he's about ready to get his nuts
snipped,
and you have to heat it up, I don't care if you're a black man, a white man, Asian man, whatever man you are.
Right.
I didn't see him as a black man getting his nuts. I felt when I see that knife getting heated up, that's a man. When you put your nuts on the line for a movie, that's a man movie right there to me. That movie made me appreciate my fucking, yeah.
Put it like this. To me also, a man movie is a movie that your girl wouldn't be in a rush to watch because she knows it's, I think a woman would watch the Django.
I think she would, but after she heard about it more. It's a Quentin Tarantino movie. It's violent. It's a very violent movie. There's no exception.
Oh yeah, Quentin over the top with the blood. It's almost cartoonish with the way the blood when he's shooting niggas.
My favorite. I told you what my favorite scene is, and that's definitely a cartoon scene. When the sister, when he says say bye, and he shoots her.
Right. Bye, Miss Laura.
And she goes flying onto the screen in a cartoonish way, which is my favorite scene because it reminds me of a cartoon, and only Quentin could get away with that.
You know what was missing from that scene? I'm gonna say bye, Miss Laura, and I want you to go pow. Ready? Bye, Miss Laura.
Pow.
Pew. When she flew back, nigga, you should have heard her. Pew.
If there would have been a little bit of that, like Roadrunner, Wile E. Coyote smoke when she, that would have been, it would have been perfect. It would have been perfect for me.
I might have to rethink it, and the reason why, okay, because for me, I'm like this, and again, this is why I said, here's why I think I got to tip my hat to Quentin. Making a slave movie is never easy to digest. Watching them, it's never easy to digest. And when you got a white guy having everybody say nigga 1,001 times, you're working against two things with black folks. One, slavery. We got to see the abuse. We got to be reminded. So that's one reason why we'll be angry. Two, the usage of the word nigga that many times. But the fact that he made Jamie the hero.
That's it.
And blew all them white dudes away the way he did makes up for that. And the scene I love the most is, remember at first when they were going to Candyland and all the slaves were lined up walking to Candyland and Jamie Foxx is on the horse and that one black slave kind of eyeballs him dirty. And he said, you got a problem with me? You better blah, 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 blah. You eyeball me again, nigga. I'm that one nigga who you don't. Yes, sir. But then when when Quentin Tarantino and all of the bounty hunt blow up and Jamie gets on the horse, and I love that moment. It's such a hero, man. You might be right. And that blows up, and Jamie walks out of the smoke, and you hear my man always sounds like when he sings, he has stomach problems. I'm in love with you. Say nothing more. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I do know.
That one singer. Y'all know I can't think it's on the tip of my tongue. I'm having an Andy. Girl, I'm in love with you.
And I would love to say his chick's name. She does that show.
Chrissy Tingen or some shit.
Yeah. And
fuck, you know his name. But he walks out and then Jamie gets on the horse, and as he rides off, those three slaves, and that one in particular who was dirty eyeballing him, slowly starts to grin. Like, nigga. Yeah, he's rooting for Jamie. So yeah, from a black man, it's a man movie because we have our comeuppance.
And you know, you got to give Quentin a lot of credit for this movie because most white dudes wouldn't have touched this movie. He wrote it, but so I guess it's in him to do it.
Right.
But he wrote this movie. He does the movie. But what I really enjoyed it when I talked to you about this movie before, and you said, is it a man movie? Then you said, is it a Western movie? Is it a slave movie? Is it a comedy? Is it a series?
It's a little bit of everything.
I mean, the way he weaves his way through what everything in this movie is and why it's controversial and why it's not a movie that anybody tried to really cancel is because he weaves there is a lot of different aspects to this movie. And so that's why I put it on my list.
John Legend.
There you go. Thank you.
John Legend. Okay. One of my man movies, man food, Roadhouse.
Yeah. I know that I own that movie. So yeah. I like the movie.
Dude, again, like I said with 4 Hours at the Capitol, white folks, y'all like mayhem, man. That is white folks to the T, nigga. Bar fights and chicken wire and broken beer bottles over the head and bitches dancing on tables. Woo! Y'all like that mayhem, nigga.
Dude, and you see, and that's part of it where you see that there's different white folks. The white folks in that movie are different from each group. There's different groups in that movie.
But they all have anarchy.
But who's the one that's the bad guy? The one with what?
The money?
Yeah. Power corrupts, man.
Yeah, but them poor motherfuckers is bad too.
Yeah, I'm not saying that. I'm not going to get into all. I don't want to make this that conversation.
Let me tell you something. And I think I want to say it was Regina King who said she had a crush on him. And let me disclaimer, no homo. But there are certain white dudes who have a flair that even black women find sexy. Yo, Sam Elliott is a cool motherfucker, dude.
Dude, you know what? Sam Elliott could be, what's the dude's name that started the show today?
Started the show?
Did the intro for us today.
Burt Bridgewater.
I mean.
Played by Sam Elliott.
I mean,
yeah.
That's a man.
That's a man, nigga.
Even, you know what? His mustache, if you take his mustache off and just left his mustache there, that's just as much of a man as Sam Elliott.
His mustache is his own cowboy, nigga. Let's just imagine a mustache on a table with a hat. I'm Sam Elliott's mustache. When I eat pussy, I don't need Sam Elliott. I just need me. You put my mustache on a broad's taco and just let it. I'll tickle that goddamn clitoris to the point where that bitch will grab me and put me on her face. Ew. Sam Elliott without the mustache is Samson without his hair.
He is.
He's Popeye without spinach. It's all in the mustache.
But he's still manly even without it. But that mustache.
But nah, that mustache. Because remember, Tombstone.
Yeah.
That mustache in Tombstone.
Yeah. I can't think of the movies that he didn't have the mustache, but I was always like, damn, Sam, go put the mustache back on.
Yeah, man, put your cape on, nigga.
But that dude is that guy. But I feel the same way, but he was pretty. He's not the Sam Elliott man was Magnum PI.
Tom Selleck.
Tom Selleck, he needs his mustache too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, some dudes are better. Like, you know what? This is a great, yes, Burt Reynolds.
Yeah.
There's some dudes, the mustache completes the outfit. Burt Reynolds, Sam Elliott, who'd you just say?
Tom Selleck.
Oh, okay. Some dudes are just mustache motherfuckers.
Yeah. And they need that to, like you said, put the cape back on, get the suit right.
Any black guys you can think of that have to have a mustache?
Do you have one? I don't.
I'll tell you, worst mustache for a black man ever is when Michael Jordan had the Hitler mustache. What the fuck was he thinking?
But Michael Jordan doesn't grow a good mustache, period.
No, he's never really, but he's always had enough fuzz.
But it's fuzz.
Right.
And so when he tries to,
right.
Even Hitler would have told him, dude.
I wish I could do a fucking German accent. I can't. Fuck. Okay. Here's one that I know most people probably wouldn't name, but I fucking loved it. Cobra.
See, I have my issues with Cobra. And my issue is, and the reason I would not put that in my top 20, and it's hard for me, because I liked the movie itself, the action in the movie. Right. But that movie is really Beverly Hills Cop rewritten by Sylvester Stallone. Beverly Hills Cop was offered to Sylvester Stallone. Yeah. He turned it down and then rewrote the script and turned in his version of that script. Actually, right. is what Cobra is.
Really?
And so when I know what,
but Cobra's not even in the realm of being funny.
No, because that's how Sylvester Stallone saw it.
Right.
And so when I know that, I handicap the movie.
Cobretti. What a cool name. Cobretti. They called him Cobra, but his full name was Cobretti.
It was an interesting movie, and I don't, for whatever.
Bridget Nielsen? I don't?
No, because I'm just not.
Dude, that span between Cobra, Beverly Hills Cop 2, Conan, yo, she was fire, man. Too tall?
I didn't like her arrogance.
That's what turned me on the most.
Man, her arrogance, and then Sylvester Stallone had a wife. I mean, I took it personally when he left his wife and went with her in real life.
Pussy do that sometimes.
Dude, but you're Sylvester Stallone. You have a successful career. You know what you should know what is.
Right.
And he left his wife for that. Dude.
Well, you know what actually happened, Andy, is we had a gangbang. You know, it was me. It was I remember that night. It was me. It was Brigitte. And Arnold, he's, hey, Brigitte. I like that name. You know, she was in Colin. She was in Colin. I remember that night we were at the Marriott and we had her. It was a gangbang. We put her in the middle. I had me in one end. I was in her on one end, Sly on the other. And Sly said, hey, yo, Arnold, you feel my pipe rubbing up against your pipe? I said, absolutely. That's not good, Sly. Pull back on some of the Italian stallion. Do you feel my pipe on your pipe? He said, hey, yo, yeah. And that's, we was banging her. And in the corner of the room was fucking Keanu. I said, Keanu, you want a piece of this? Yeah. Be awesome.
I thought he just wanted to touch your cans.
Oh, yeah. Hey, what do you want to do to it, Kiana? I want to touch your cans. Just her cans. Hey, look at Al. He's in the corner. He's jacking off. Al, hey, are you ready? Oh, boy. Oh, yeah. I don't want to fuck. I just want to watch. Really? You don't want to get into this? No, not really. I just want to stand back from afar, catch a glaze. Uh-oh, I'm coming. Hoo-ha. Hey, yo, I think everybody's in here. Are we forgetting anybody? Oh, you forgetting me, man. I want to turn. Oh, it's Jason Statham. Jason, hey, are you used to American pussy? I'll get all kind of flesh. I'm English. All I got to do is talk, and the rest is history. Hey, what's that, Brigitte? Something is tickling your butthole. Well, what is it? It's Sam Elliott's mustache. I could see the tickles. I see the hairs, and it has a cowboy hat on. Yeah. All right.
Dude, that's funny. I wish we were have time to do some cartoons for that shit right there. We'd get sued by all of them.
Here's another one of mine. Passenger 57.
Good movie. But it wasn't man food. It was just a good movie.
You're out of your mind.
Didn't love it.
Let me tell you something. There was a period in time when Wesley was the go-to action dude.
Yeah.
And I think that movie sparked it off. Because again, we didn't have black action dudes like that. And Denzel, and that's one of the things that I always scratch my head about with Denzel. He only made one action movie during that time period, Virtuosity, which I said to me was one of his worst movies ever. I wish Denzel had taken more. I wish Denzel had done more comedies and action. Everything with him was just straight Oscar-worthy dramatic performances. And, to see Wesley, and Wesley knows Kung Fu, to see him do all the martial art moves, and Passenger 57 was dope.
So you're a Wesley fan?
Very much.
See, I would have put Blade up there before Passenger.
But that's a superhero movie.
It's a superhero, and it's one of the, honestly, it was probably the best comic book movie that was out ever at that time.
But Marvel wasn't banging them out like that.
No,
yet.
and he didn't even get credit for it as a Marvel movie because
right.
Marvel was
Sony owned it.
Yeah, and so no, I think Wesley was great, but that movie just didn't have. It was a little, and you said corny, a little corny. So by your criteria, yeah,
you always play Russian roulette. Yes, always bet on black. And the double, is that an entendre? I don't know if that's the right
double
word.
Entendre.
Yeah, because it's bet on black. But then, because he's black, always bet on black.
But see, one of my criteria is it has to be a movie that when it comes on, I'm going to stop what I'm doing and watch it. And like I watched, I before we did the podcast right now, I told you I'm running behind. Why was I running behind? Because what was on? Keanu Reeves.
John Wick.
John Wick was on, and I had to watch it.
Yeah.
Because it was to the part where it was about everybody was about to get killed. So I had to watch, that whole movie, everybody's about to get killed. So it was I had to watch that. I don't know if 57 is going to get me to stop what I'm doing because it's so corny.
Okay. All right. Real quick. And there's so many Arnold Schwarzenegger movies. You could say this with Arnold, Sly, and Bruce Willis. There's so many man-fool movies. It's hard to pick one, but if I got to pick one with Arnold, T2.
Yeah.
I really didn't care for Terminator 1.
I did, but it's not about Arnold. I mean, it is a little obviously about Arnold, but it was about the whole idea of that new digital. We hadn't even really gotten to digital CGI age and the way they're doing things, and plus that's when he wasn't getting lines. That was when he was just "I'll be back."
I'll be back.
Right. You know, he had minimal lines. They weren't giving him lines because they didn't think that he could pull that part off.
Right.
But yeah, I don't even think I put an Arnold on there. No, I didn't.
That's your list right there, right?
Yeah, that's my list right there.
Let me see. Dude, I and this is one of those where people are going to boo me. I've never seen The Usual Suspects.
Dude, and that movie is something else too. And I love that movie. And it's an ensemble, which really gave everybody a chance to really be part of this and the way they told the story.
Right.
You're missing out, man. That's a movie.
I think some of your movies are, and when I say good, I mean great, are great movies. I don't know that that's a man food movie. And I'm saying that unintelligently because I haven't seen it.
Dude, there's a scene in that movie where they're talking about Kaiser Soze. And he's talking about the guys find out who he is, and they go back to his home and they have his whole family. And if he doesn't do what they want, he's going to kill his family. So he pulls out his gun and he kills his family and all those people.
Himself?
Kaiser Soze did.
Okay.
Because rather than give in to them,
right,
he just killed everyone in the room. His wife, his kids, and all the bad guys. Like he let them know, you're going to threaten me by killing my family? I'll kill my family. And now I'm going to kill you. It was such a movie that
Did he kill his family first?
Yeah, he wasn't going to let them kill him.
Then why? Oh. Well, why couldn't he just kill them and leave his family alone?
Because they were how they had him.
Okay.
Dude, I'm telling you, this is a movie where you go, if you really watch the whole movie and then at the very end, you see it's all made up, the names are made up. Like, I don't want to give away too much of the movie because you haven't seen it. Right. I know it's an old movie, but I'd really like you to see it because I think you'd be surprised at the end.
Okay. Here are two movies you told me to watch, one of which I've already seen, but I finally watched. Hold up. Oh, come on. Where are you? Okay, I think I remember it. Godfather 2.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, Godfather 1 and 2 was religion in my dad's house.
Yeah.
He lived and died by Godfather. And I love Godfather 1. And you know, as a kid, we only had one TV, so whatever he watched, we watched. And as a kid, I never could get into either one of them, but I started becoming more susceptible to Godfather 1 than 2. But then as I watched it on a plane ride over and got reacquainted, you know, certain movies you handle better when you grow older because you're mature and you can you appreciate it. I like Godfather 2, but it still didn't have the mwah of 1. And the way they went through the flashbacks, showing Vito Corleone, played by Robert De Niro as a young man, okay, I just preferred 1 better. My question to you is this. That moment, which I didn't understand, remember when they went to that little show with Michael and Fredo and the girl was chained up?
Yeah.
And Fredo, I forget the guy's name, he mentioned something about the guy. And there's this moment where this music swells and Pacino has almost this look of sickness on his face. Is that when he discovered Fredo?
Yeah, because he said, he was talking to the other guy. He said, yeah. And he says the other guy, I forgot the other guy's name.
So-and-so told us
that this is the place to, he pretended not to know him because.
Right, in the scene before that when they first met and Michael introduced him and he said, hey, and they didn't know, but then it established.
That he did know him.
Wow,
and so
okay.
And so that's what he was giving me. The reason by pretty good margin is my favorite Godfather. The reason I picked 2 is Man Food is I love the fact that Michael goes back for revenge and he takes everyone out. And I thought that right. Storyline is more man. But as I'm thinking about some of your criteria when you said sexual, there's no sexual scenes really in either movie except where Michael's brother, James Caan, Sonny, is banging the chick
against the door.
And that's only in 1.
Right.
That's the only sexual scenes that you really.
Right.
There's no sexual scene in 2 at all, is there?
No.
Yeah. So By that criteria, yeah, then I would go back to 1.
Right.
I thought the storyline, though, of Michael taking care of all family business, though, that storyline.
Right.
And without being overly gratuitous, I mean, there was, you saw the violence in it, but not being a John Wick movie. That's taking care of how many people do you have to kill to get to solidify his seat and that he was over everyone at that moment. That's a pretty fucking intense movie right there.
You know, that moment, and I love, you know, your instinct is to always play it up when it's time to be a badass.
Yeah.
Rawr, yell, or, you know, the coolness of that in the beginning when the senator insults him.
Oh, yeah.
I don't like you people with your oily hair. And Michael just coolly goes, you can have my answer now if you like, Senator. My answer is this. And then he breaks it down. He goes, not only am I not going to pay what you want me to pay, but you're going to foot the bill for something else. And now here's my other question to you. When the senator said what he said and left, was he the one that had Michael's house shot up?
No.
It's Fredo.
It's Fredo with the other
that older dude.
Yeah.
Get him out. It sounded like that.
Because no, the older dude, the Jewish dude.
Hyman Roth.
Hyman Roth is conspiring with, that's Hyman Roth's guy, the guy who told him where to go all over.
Right, which is Lee Strasberg.
And Hyman Roth is always plotting, keeping Michael close and plotting to get rid of him so that he can take over and he can.
So he really never liked Michael.
It's not that there was no that. This was really critical to understanding The Godfather. Has nothing to do with it.
It's just business.
It's all business. Even when Fredo sold out Michael, he even says, "But I was your older brother. I didn't have. I had a chance to have something.
Right.
It was business. He was passed over. It was just business. He didn't hate Michael. He was sad and disappointed with himself, but this was his opportunity for business.
Right.
But Michael's, and this is where back when you go to Al Pacino days and you go, this is when I really loved him as an actor. Cause he didn't have any of the
gruff.
He didn't have any of those
Alisms.
Alisms. Yeah. When he finds out because he always suspected maybe Fredo, he suspected everybody. And when he sees it and he's confronted by the truth and the music plays, the music is more dramatic. I mean, Michael just gets glassed eyes. And you saw it, and he didn't overplay it. He kept it. You saw the pain in his eyes, but you didn't see it anywhere else. And you knew that it was both hatred and disappointment all at the same time. You know, he saw it. My brother sold me out, and he hated his brother as the one who was helping Hyman Roth, and at the same time, the sadness that it was his brother.
Michael. You don't come to Las Vegas and talk to a man like Mo Green like that. Fredo, you're my younger brother, and I love you. But don't ever take sides with anyone against the family again. Ever. Woo!
Dude, and with also too, Fredo's character is also by the same guy that plays
in Dog Day Afternoon.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's a great. He died, I think, early in life with cancer, but he was an amazing actor, and he never got the credit because he always played the secondary character.
He looks like the boss from The Simpsons.
Yeah, he kind of does.
Yeah. Here's an Easter egg I don't know if you caught, and this cannot be by coincidence. If this is by coincidence, I'm buying a fucking lotto ticket. I don't know if you noticed this, but I noticed this when I saw Godfather 2. That moment when Michael's sitting at the desk and the senator, just as he's talking to Michael and he's kind of subtly threatening him, there's a cannon fixture on the desk. He turns the cannon fixture to face Michael while threatening him as though to say, death. In fucking Equalizer, Denzel takes the skull of death, the glass skull, and turns it towards the Russian while he's threatening him.
See, that's cool.
There's no way that's coincidence.
No, probably
Denzel
not.
probably looked at that moment and went, as inspiration, I'm going to do the same thing There's no way that's coincidence.
And I love it because when you talk to certain actors or especially directors, there's so many nods to older movies because that's how they came up wanting to be a director, because of the love for other movies, that they incorporate little pieces of those movies into those. And I think that's great. And you noticing that is awesome.
That matter of fact, because I remember, again, Eddie Murphy said on Inside the Actor Studio, yo, I didn't know what kind of face to make when pointing a gun. So I would just imitate Bruce Lee's face in certain scenes that in his movies. So yeah, people find inspiration from all kind of things.
Yeah. But I love it when they give those nods to the people that help create them, because those people have moved them on through their career, you know, silently, but they have.
Now, do you feel lucky, punk? Do you?
This is the movie you hadn't seen.
This is the movie I haven't seen. I saw Dirty Harry. First of all, I didn't know when I went to download it. There's like a series of them.
Yeah.
I didn't know. The Enforcer, the blah, blah, blah. So I went and got Dirty Harry, and I only have a couple notes, though. Man, the 70s movies just was raw. There were no rules. There was a moment where the bad guy hijacks a school bus, and the one kid, he slaps the shit out of this child. I even went, oh, like, there's no way, unless there's a movie made specifically where it's like based on a book, based on somebody's real life, where you have to show a child get smacked the shit out of. They're not doing that now. Just because people, I mean, he smacked that child, nigga, with ferociousness. And then the kid was, I was like, yo, they're not doing that today. The 70s went there.
Yeah, all the way.
Oh.
I'm the one who I put Dirty Harry on my list. Enforcer, I do think is the first one, right? And then it's
I don't know what the order is.
But Dirty Harry I put on there because that's the namesake, and it's good, the Dirty Harry movie. My problem with Dirty Harry movies is all this Clint Eastwood, the cop movies. And I'm stretching to say this, but I do believe this is true because I believe that movies and television influences life. And I think that movies like Dirty Harry, unfortunately, have affected police in today's world, that they think that that's some of how.
I don't doubt that at all.
That's how they think they're supposed to be. That's how they're making these decisions based on what they feel is right, and because they feel and Dirty Harry. I'm not saying that that's what they're thinking when they're doing it, but I'm saying it's affected.
Put it like this: I think anytime you give somebody a badge and a gun, that automatically inputs a certain amount of power that, if for those who refuse to handle it responsibly, yeah, it's already in the mindset. It's already in the attitude.
Right.
So when you put a movie like Dirty Harry out there, that's the garnishes around the plate. The meal is already made.
Right.
That's just the pretty sprinklings.
But I guess the difference is, you said that the meal's made. But when there's someone who gets in it, and I'm gonna undersay this, or I'm not probably saying it in a way that has the right toughness for what I want to say. But there's people who go into policing because they do want to serve and protect. They do want to, they've been affected by police in their life, or something has happened where that happened that they wanted to give to the community. They see that as an important part of being of a community effort, and those people can take that you said, that meal that's already there, and they can do it correctly. But there's a large part of people that come into it because they want to be a badass, a Dirty Harry.
Like even in the beginning of the movie, when there's, I guess it's like a bank robbery or something, and he was eating a hot dog, so he goes across the street to intervene, and the black guy's laying there after he's already shot him, and the shotgun is there, and clearly the black guy got no shot of getting the gun, but Harry puts the magnum in his face and goes, "Do you feel lucky, punk? Do you? Like, reach for it if you feel lucky." And he goes, "I know what you're thinking. I have X amount of shots in this gun. I fired X amount of shots. Are there any bullets left in this gun?" And he pulls, wait. I'm going to get this order right. Oh, so anyway, he takes the shotgun away from the black guy, which again was clearly not in reach. And he starts to walk away from him. And the black guy goes, which I thought was hokey, and two to me said, this is white writing. He goes, hey man, and Dirty Harry turns around, I just got to know. So then Harry pulls the trigger, gun's empty, walks away. Why did the nigga have to go? I just got to know. He couldn't have just eloquently said, hey man, I'd like to know. I want to know. I got to know.
You answered the question before you answered the question.
It's white writing.
Yeah.
And this is what I'm talking about. In the 70s, I think there was a stereotypical fear-like thing where white folks felt, man, watch out for them niggas.
Well,
so we have to talk like that because that feeds into the, man, them niggas will rape our women and snatch our purses because they gots to.
It's more than that. Where was the Dirty Harry supposed to be filmed at?
San Francisco.
Where's the Panthers from?
Bingo.
I know I'm white, but I mean,
you did the white math. You put it together.
Yeah, I pay attention.
I got to know. Get the fuck out of here. We're out of time, but I just want to name the rest of your movies, and I'll name the rest of mine.
Okay. Let's throw something in really quick. I'm going to give you the one of them, Born Identity.
Yes, man flew like a motherfucker, and when they put Jeremy Renner in it, it became vegetarian food.
Well, and what's his name that is in it? What's his name?
Matt Damon.
I was like, when I first heard that I was like, Matt Damon.
Right, I didn't see that.
Yeah,
but he murdered that motherfucker. Yeah, he did.
So that's why.
So much so that Jeremy Renner couldn't fill his shoes.
Well, but that's why I put it on there because he blew me away in it. So that's why he made my top 10.
I'm gonna name one. You name one.
Yeah, go ahead.
Of course, Goodfellas. We both had that.
Goodfellas. Yeah, we both had Goodfellas.
Yeah.
I got Casino Royale, the new one.
Dude, James Bond. I think you have to be a James Bond fan.
Okay, but this is exactly why I put this one on there. I wasn't a James Bond fan. I could leave it way more than take it.
My sentiment exactly.
But with what's his face that's in it?
Daniel
Craig, dude. When he played it, I was like, okay, I'm in. I want to see more. I want to see more.
He reminded me of George Lazenby. He wasn't the visual type, but the fights, the kick-assness.
He made me want to watch it. So that's why I put Casino Royale. And then I actually went back and watched some of the Sean Connery James Bonds, and they were better than what I remembered them, but still not
No.
So yes, that's why I have Casino Royale.
Lethal Weapon.
Lethal Weapon,
of course. That's man food to the T.
Do I? I don't have Lethal Weapon.
No, you don't. I'm just saying. I'm just throwing it out there.
Oh yeah. But I didn't.
No. Yeah. Lethal Weapon is put your dick on the table.
Is it? That's just the two. That's the buddy film.
Yes.
Yeah.
You just feel about Lethal Weapon?
No, I thought it was great, but it isn't my top 10. It's more of a buddy film to me. I have Rocky on there. Did you have?
No, I didn't. That's what I'm saying. Some were hard to leave off.
Yeah, that's my Sylvester Stallone. I looked at, what's the other Sylvester Stallone one? Rambo. And I was like, that's probably even more man, but Rocky was more.
I told you, Willis, Schwarzenegger, and Stallone, especially during the 80s, they were buffets.
But see, Rocky, I'm going to give you this list because this isn't neither of us. I had Dirty Harry. No, I didn't even have Dirty Harry on my list.
Yeah, that is honorable mention.
Yeah, honorable mention, and The Way of the Dragon and Rocky. Those
The Way of the Dragon, Bruce Lee.
Yeah, that was before Enter the Dragon. Dude, those were the movies my stepfather took me to.
Right.
And those movies, that was the best time I had in my life with him.
Right.
And those movies that he took me to see, those were big impact in my life. So those to me were like, my dad was taking me, so that was even more manly.
But is that more nostalgic than man? Because you weren't a man.
No, I wasn't a man, but he was taking me to see rated R men movies.
Right.
And so that's why they stick with me. So that's why I put Rocky down.
We both had Die Hard.
Yep.
I think that after a certain point, they stopped being man movies and got silly.
Yeah.
48 Hours.
I don't have 48 Hours down, but I'm not against 48 Hours.
Tombstone,
I'm not against either. We talked about it. I think that's a great movie.
And that's my 10, really.
My only one that, you had Scarface too, though, right?
Yes.
Okay, so that's mine. Mine are all there.
Right.
But yeah, those were good lists. I mean, I think we're all...
I mean, listen, it's going to be highly debatable. And people will go, how could you put this
and not
instead of this? But that's the hard. challenge of it.
My toughest thing is that I wasn't able to put The Way of the Dragon or some type of
Bruce Lee movie?
Kung Fu movie in there.
Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm even going, what did you say? Enter the Dragon was his creme de la creme. All his other movies, the big hit, what's it called? The Big Hit or something. I've seen some of his other movies. And like I said, my brother Ish is a fucking martial arts fanatic.
Yeah, but
I've never been into the martial arts with a dubbing.
Some of those movies were just put together after he died just to make movies. But The Way of the Dragon, I believe that's the one that I think I'm right when I put it down. That's the one where who's the white,
black dude?
No, the white dude.
I know who you're talking about. I don't know his name, but he was in Nightmare on Elm Street 3 as the sheriff and Nancy's dad.
And he had that television show at one time.
I really don't know. I don't know his history.
Norris. Chuck
Norris.
Norris.
I thought you were talking about somebody else.
No, Chuck Norris is the bad guy in.
Oh, right. I
Way
did
of the
see
Dragon.
that.
Yeah,
that's when they had that fight at the end. Right.
That's what the big deal was too in that movie, and that's why my dad wanted to, because he was like, Bruce Lee is the Asian master black belt, and this is Chuck Norris, and he's the American black belt. And this is going to be like he was excited as he was for Bird and Magic. He loved all that kind of any kind of tension. Right. He thought that was always worth seeing because he thought those were. I don't know. It did something for him.
I thought you were going to mention Jim Kelly.
No, Jim Kelly. Is it Jim Kelly?
The black dude. Yeah.
Is it Jim Kelly though?
I think it's Jim Kelly.
He's in one of them, and I know
he's in Enter the Dragon.
Yeah, and so is Kareem.
Yeah, which was so silly. This big ass praying mantis.
Because he was friends. He was friends with Bruce Willis. Bruce Lee. Bruce Willis. That's funny. But out of these movies, real quick, because I know we're out of time. Who's your number one? Is there a number one?
Out of my 10 or yours?
Out of your,
let me see. Out of your 10?
10.
Oh boy. If I had to be like, yo, I got my favorite meal. After this, I'm going to get a blowjob. The right movie puts me in the right frame of mind. Oh, God, I got a tie between Born Identity and Die Hard.
To me, it's always Die Hard. It's the quintessential movie that just ties up all the bad guy violence.
Right.
There's no sexual energy in that, though.
Right.
But it's just that movie. And then at the end, as far as the corny, when she punches the dude at the end,
right.
Everybody,
which is always a 80s cliche.
All
right.
that. Oh no, the 80s cliche too is the black driver.
Yeah.
Who's in the car, and then he has to go and hit that guy. And I found out when he rams the ambulance,
right?
And in the scene, he punches the guy. He actually hit him.
Really?
Yeah, he didn't mean to, but that's why he goes like this afterwards. He really hurt his hand.
Oh shit!
So that's a little tidbit. But yeah, that's the one that I'm not going to miss Die Hard when it comes on TV.
Yeah. All right,
man. There it is. Where we're going to be next, real quick, guys. I'm going to be at Levity Live on the 18th, one night only, on Thursday the 18th. Tickets are reasonable, and please come out and support me because I need to sell some tickets so that they might have me back at one of these fucking clubs. And then after that, you're doing?
I'm gig in Miami.
You're in Miami,
and then we're back together in Oxnard.
No, shit! I forgot about Oxnard. We're doing the Oxnard, yeah. The 19th, 20th.
Oxnard Levity Live.
Yeah, 19th, 20th, and 21st. We're going to be at Oxnard, which is a cool club. It's just it's in that place in California.
Oxnard.
Yeah, but I mean it's a place.
Yeah,
it's not your normal run of the mill place, but it's a cool club.
Yeah.
And then after that, we're going to be at Laugh Boston. That's the one.
Back in Boston.
I'm excited. I've never performed in Boston.
Okay, and I've never performed at this club, but I've performed in Boston.
I've never been to Boston to perform. So I'm very excited about it. And the Laugh Boston is the 28th and 29th. There's 2 shows each night, which is odd. Again, it's a Sunday and a Monday. It's that out of purgatory. You can get out of your house. Thanksgiving is over.
Yeah, that is going to feel weird because I'm going to have to fly in on a Sunday when I normally fly out to go back home on Sunday.
Yeah.
And then working on Monday, flying back Tuesday when I'm supposed to be back home. The fuck is that? Oh, it's an Amber Alert. Oh,
who got kidnapped?
No, it says National Weather Service tornado warning in this area until 5:30 p.m. Eastern. Really?
Global warming,
I
buddy.
hope that doesn't happen because that's going to fuck me up. I got to be home tomorrow because they're coming to give me a COVID test at the house. It's 48-hour protocol because I'm supposed to do that CNN thing about black comedy on television. And it's a chance for me to get my black ass back on TV. Oh, my God. I hope that shit don't fuck up my flight in any way.
It shouldn't. It should be. It says done till 5:30, so it should
Eastern.
Be, yeah.
In the morning?
5:30. It said 5:30 p.m., didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll be done. It's 5:30. It's only a few hours.
Today?
Now. Yeah.
I thought it meant starting like now till
5:30.
Oh, that didn't make sense. I'm confused, but okay.
What time is it?
It's 5:03.
So for half an hour.
Providence rain. Let's see in the morning. 37. Be cold as a motherfucker. Yeah, it says 6:34.
No, you're fine.
Sunrise.
You're fine. And I'm
All
taking
right.
the train. So if there's any kind of tornado or problem like that, I'll be the one blown off the tracks.
Why do you gotta go there, nigga? God damn.
I didn't say I was gonna die. I was probably survive.
You already pissed on the cake, nigga. All right. This is from Lopez, G Blaze Music. This nigga, man. Lopez 7786. G Blaze Music. Okay. Music. Okay. Business inquiries. Sebastian Lopez 3710@gmail.com. Instagram, Twitter. Okay. Oh God, I felt like I played this already. I'm telling you, I got to start taking Ginkgo Biloba. Lopez, if I've already played this, guys, forgive me. This nigga's going to get a second free spin. Enjoy.
Hey, and come see me at West Nyack again on the 18th, Thursday, before I die.
And that's how I get pussy.
How y'all feel out there?
Thanks for listening to the Spears and Steinberg podcast. If you'd like to know who's responsible for this shit, well, it was hosted by Ari Spears and Andy Steinberg, produced by Steve Merrick and Anthony Holmes, executive producer, Big Papa, Robert Kelly, and Matt Kleinschmidt for the Laugh Button podcast. For more information on where to find us on the internet, visit www.spearsburgpod.com.